There we go. We're started. All right. Hello. I have to remember not to do the do while I'm actually starting the recording, but that's also something I'll have to later edit out of it. And just so everybody knows, I do record these. For those that can't make it, I put it on a YouTube channel that absolutely nobody watches. It's my channel. It's not something I should be proud of, but it's the truth. So you don't have to worry about like, oops, I didn't have my whatever. I was going to say my hair straight, but my hair is always perfect. So
I watched them from Heartbeat, Richard.
yeah, that's the full reason I record it is so I can get it into Heartbeat without paying them a storage fee for loading my videos in there. So a couple of people coming in here. Oh, that's Rob's. Hey, Rob, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
I just let your note taker in, which is now I'm going to try
you
and
can kick it out. Sorry.
try and do that now.
There's another Rob. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. There's actually. Okay, let me just make sure I remove.
I could be Robert. You could be Rob.
All right,
I think people only know Rob as Rob. I've never even heard anybody call you anything other.
There's like
Do they?
There's probably 4 Robs in the group, and it's like the most popular name, I think, in this group at least. We've had a few Richards before too, so it's one of those. I'm just gonna have to learn people's last names, and if you know me, I'm not really good at guessing how your last name pronounces, so I'll totally muck it up, and you guys can correct me. So, welcome everybody. It's good to see you. We've got a few new people. Simran, just wave, say hi. I won't make you do any stand up or anything like that, so it's good. A few others. I invited a few people just to kind of give it a tester out. And we'll dig into that, and I'll let Simran do a bit of an intro when she's not put on the spot like that. She's got a really impressive LinkedIn profile. I'll stand that up just to make it even that much more difficult for you, Simran. Linda, good to see you, and Vanessa, good to see you guys. I kind of half did. I usually try to see these conversations with a couple of things that I've read out of the news, but I'm like, the last few months I've put some really, deep topics in there, and I thought, okay, let's just go light this time. Let's just talk about recent wins, and a win could be, it could be your win. It could be a win that you heard somebody else something to you. Somebody did something for you that you've done. You could turn it around like I'm Mr. Negative. I'll turn a win and make it into some kind of rainy day. I put how I was trying to chase somebody for money, and rather than writing normal emotional calls, I actually use Gemini, which is Google's AI. I did quite a bit to kind of tone down the emotions in my emails, because I'm one of those people that wears their emotions on their sleeves. So I'll write something. I'll go, okay, have another crack. I'm like, wow, that is much more human. Thanks for doing that for me. Let me put that out, Mr. AI. So I put that in there, but it has helped me in quite a number of situations where I'm trying to. In this case, I've only had this challenge a couple of times, but it's always like when you're chasing for money and somebody hasn't paid you in a long time, it's very emotional. It's hard to get out of that. You feel like, what have I done wrong? You feel all these things internally. But what I found using Gemini, it has been really good at getting this person responding and, promising, whether you believe in promises or not, but rather than put in something and start a fight, and get something, what would come out of me naturally, that was my big win, which turning something sunny into something sour and trying to make it sound sunny. So that's my win. So it could be, you could share anything like that. If you have an actual win, new business, that's awesome as well. If you've learned something new, that'd be a good share as well. I won't pick on you, but if there's a real awkward pause, I will start pointing and, picking people to share their latest wins. But I'll also share another one. We had a great meetup in Hamilton. Alex and Robert reminded me of that. Vanessa, thanks for setting it up. We got another one setting up. I'm trying to do a couple more to go across the spectrum. So we're going to have one in Toronto. I'm just trying to figure out a time to do it. Eden and Rob and Karen, I met with them in a cafe in Yorkdale, and the name eludes me now, but it was really nice. It was a big open cafe, easy in and out access. So I'm going to try and run one there. So if you want to meet, I think a couple of you said, I want to meet some of the folks in Toronto. It's right off the highway. You get up to the 401, and there's an exit that you stay on Dufferin, and you circle around, bang, you're right in the parking lot. So that's a good one to go. I'm going to try and do one in Mississauga. I'm going to do it south this time. I always do it north because that's where I live. But south, I figure people from Oakville and Burlington, and then, you know, maybe like Tobico can kind of make it to that one as well. And then we're doing the one Hamilton. So hopefully I can see some faces, grab a beer, grab a coffee with some of you coming soon. But that said, I'm going to open the floor. Who wants to start? Oh, good. Alex, you go for it, sir.
Yeah, my win is just on the tails of the meetup. I've met with a lot of cool members in this group. I met with Robert this week, which was awesome. I met with Eden, and we're working on something together, which I'm very, very excited about. And we're meeting tomorrow. And I met Jody in person. And then Richard, we had a call before this call. And they've all inspired me, and they have focused me. And so that's what I need right now. So it's been awesome. That's my win.
And you could share, if you feel comfortable, Alex, a little bit about what you're thinking, because that'd be a nice little, get everybody understanding what you're trying to do. If you feel like it, no pressure on that.
Oh no, I'm getting more into coaching and advising and helping as opposed to doing actual marketing. I've done marketing for 15, 20 years, and I own my own business in Hamilton and in Toronto. So I'm trying to branch out into something new, and I'm testing different things, which I'm excited about. So I'm going through a path that is not exactly set for me. So that's where the conversations with all of these people have really helped me with all of that stuff. And I'll just say on one other note, in the Heartbeat, I posted a setting boundaries thread. If all of you could go and read it and let me know what you think, because I'm in an awkward position with a client, but I won't bore you all with it here. So that's my other little add-on there.
Oh, I love that. And thank you for sharing that too. Did you put in the questions one, right? I might move that one to the give and ask, which is our, what Eden introduced last week, which is our, what was it called again, Eden? Sorry, it was the, no, sorry to bug you. My memory's short.
Ask. No, it's okay. Ask. I think it's ask and give.
Ask and give. Yeah. And it's, what's the concept behind it again? What's the name of it?
Radical generosity.
Thank you.
Radical
Radical generosity. Thank you. Exactly. So that one, I might move it under there, Rob, because Alex, that's like almost like an ask, right? Like for, yeah. And I really like that concept. There's been a few people been offering shares and gives and sorry, I'm screwing that up totally. You're gonna have to do a message about that again, Eden, just to clear everybody on how I've messed it up. I'm gonna pass it over to Ryan. Go ahead, Ryan, share.
So I had a big insight for myself. So for me, like if you're doing the consulting business or agency, whatever you want to call it, I think you're only supposed to be working maybe 8 hours a week maximum. Like if you're working more than that, it's because you're filling multiple roles and you shouldn't be, right? Like I've been doing this for 9 years and I had a realization the last 2 weeks of why am I working 50 hours a week? And the realization came to us, I was really running 3 business models, right? Like I do the service business, then I'm doing SaaS, and then I'm doing content. And what I realized was every business model, there's a prescribed way on how to do it already. There's only one piece of the whole puzzle that you need to be creative on. And I think I was focusing too much time being creative on all the pieces. So then it's for example, if you're in the service business, there's only 4 lead gen methods work, right? Cold email, cold calling, in-person referrals, network, and then for the last one. But then when I was trying to do content, I was like, okay, how can I make YouTube work for my service agency? But the realization I had was no one does YouTube for service business. And there are some people, but those are outliers. You don't want to map. So basically, if your competitors aren't doing that method, it means it doesn't work. Does that make sense? So but in a way, right? It's you don't, you want to spend more time making money than saying, I'm going to be the number one, I'm going to be the first person to figure out how to make this new funnel, right? So usually what I realized was for a service business, you have one funnel that works. And then you're very hesitant to start a second funnel because it's working, right? But then there's certain funnels, I call them beginner funnels, and some are scaling funnels, right? So cold email and cold calling, those are scaling funnels, right? Where you could pay someone to do it, right? So like in your business to run properly, you need one beginner funnel, and then and everything else needs to be scalable funnel. And if it's not, then you're gonna be working too many hours just trying to fix the system. So that was the biggest realization I had for me. So like the hardest part in the service business is the lead gen. Everything else is easy. Like you can figure out delivery, you can hire people. Like someone can teach you all the pieces. There's no point in being creative for this. So just do this, and then know your limits, and then just stick to that. So that's the big realization I had.
I love it. I see the marketing people fringing in the background, but I hear a lot of what you're saying right there. I thought you were going to talk about. Was it Eden? You were in that podcast that was talking about Delegating. Yeah. Wow. 3:00 in the afternoon, my brain just seems to turn off.
Without calling out another member on here, I can say one of our panelists is actually also a client of the coach who led the panel. Valerie Hall Little led the panel, and Dan Snow was on the panel as well as myself. And he made a big announcement that I knew about, but I didn't know who the individual was. And it was like a great hiring decision. He actually delegated and brought in Linda Kern.
Oh, well, I couldn't second that strong enough. That's a great decision. And I know Linda and Dan know each other for a long time. Yes.
For calling you out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because I had known, Dan had told me a few months ago, I'm looking to do this and this and bring in this. And he was raving about Linda. And then last week when he announced you, Linda, I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Congrats,
so, yes.
Linda. So that's Linda's share of the week then. Do you want to expand on that, Linda?
Well, she may have another one.
Maybe. I don't know. Oh, you're muted there.
Hey, everybody's appeared. I have had the worst connection today and everybody was frozen on my screen. But as soon as I clicked on unmute, everybody came to life. So I don't know what the connection is there. I've been trying to come in on my phone and everything. But anyway, I have a few good bits of news. But yeah, so Dan is a client of mine now. I mean, I've known Dan since our BNI days over 10 years ago. But yeah, he is awesome, and he's just super fun to hang out with. And we're heading to a conference in the middle of June together. I think really, I said yes because I just want to hang around him. Yes. So our initiative is going into the U.S. market. It's a slow burn. It's we're doing it the old-fashioned cold, not so much calling yet. But reaching out and continuing to reach out LinkedIn and going through. I mean, he's picked a niche market for us to target, which I think is smart because not everybody's going to respond to women-led, LGBTQ-led businesses, and so we're trying to carve out a niche of what I'll call kind of a little bit more potentially more friendly audiences in the U.S. because it's not the most desirable place to go right now. But honestly, nobody else is going it. No, very few other Canadian companies are going into the U.S. So why not?
All my clients are in the U.S. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you know what I found?
Probably before the last 6 months, Ryan?
No. I've been always in the U.S. Like all my clients.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like, it's not
brand new.
Yeah, it's not as desirable now, I guess is what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned this to Dan, but from the coaching side of my life, with my coaching hat on, I've actually found, and I think I did mention to him, that the people in the US who are not in favor of what the current administration is doing tend to be very receptive to Canadians.
Oh, they don't care for me. Like they don't even care.
I see a difference.
Well, for me, in my business, like on the coaching side, because the marketing side, I'm just, if it happens organically, it happens. But on the coaching front, it's been a positive because a lot of them are having frustrations and issues related to changes in the administration, and they're very comfortable talking. And those people are comfortable talking to somebody who's outside of it politically, who doesn't have a vote or stake in what happens in the US in the same way. So, knowing that a lot of those businesses are purpose-driven that you're interested in.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it, purpose-driven. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and then I guess my other bit of good news is, although I think it's a small podcast, but I was a guest on a podcast this morning, which I always enjoy doing. And it's a fractional the organization out of Canada that brings fractionals together out of Montreal. So he runs this little fractional group that I've only been to one meeting, and then also does a podcast.
Well, that's exciting. What did you talk about? Was
So
it
he
on
just asked
sales
me
or-
all kinds of sales questions, like, you have a guarantee that you'll help them grow their sales. Tell me about that. Or, you know, how do you start with a brand new team, and, you know, kind of stuff like that. So yeah, just lots of questions around sales. And, you know, if you were to leave everybody with one thought, what would that be? And stuff like that.
Nice. Excellent. I like
Yeah.
that. So we've got, hey, Trevor, how are you? We've got a few new folks on the call. If you guys don't mind, I'm just going to let them introduce themselves. Sorry not to put any pressure on you guys at all, but I think you guys got good backgrounds. And quite frankly, you probably know most of the people on the call anyhow. Because Linda herself knows everybody. Like, I mean, she is the networking pro. If you don't know her, maybe you have been networking. I don't know. Who wants to take a chance to go first? I won't. Trevor and I met at in Hamilton. Was that last week? I want to say it was last week. Or was it longer than that? Oh, you're on mute there, Trevor.
Yeah, I think it was last week. Yes, great to see you at the Innovation Factory. And Linda, I saw you at the CEO Global event just the other day too. So yeah, it's been a busy week, and I met Dan there as well, and Marta introduced us, Richard. So anyway, thanks for having me here today. Sorry again for being a few minutes late. I hope it's a flexible thing. I had a client meeting run a little late, and did my best to be here as quick as I could. I run agenda marketing out of Hamilton, and yeah, we do all things marketing, but really trying to focus more and more on the design to support the marketing strategies of the great strategists out there, and make it look really good as well as have good returns on what we create. So thank you.
Excellent. And thanks for that introduction, Martha. And I'll just pass it over to Simran.
Yeah, hi everyone. I came by way of Karen Tam. She and I used to work together for a little bit in her isobar Dentsu days, and introduced me to Richard. I guess a few weeks ago now. Time has already passed by quickly. But yeah, thanks for letting me join. I've been, a marketer for 16 years, most recently in a global executive roles, and I was doing innovation inside of Dentsu. Trying to drive new value pathways. How do we grow new revenue streams, and then integrate across markets? If you know Dentsu, it's a pretty big company and has always struggled with horizontal integration. But yeah, a few months ago, decided to start up my own consultancy focused on business design and strategic design. So problem solving, as well as finding clarity within the organization. Things like, what does your competitive advantage look like, mapping capabilities, and then establishing new growth pathways to scale and grow small, medium-sized businesses, purpose-based businesses, small agencies, that type of thing. So yeah, thanks for having me. Hopefully I can join the group soon.
Excellent. Thanks, Simran. Thanks, Trevor. Excellent. Anybody else want to join and share? Just if you came in a little later, we're sharing wins and a win. Oh, go ahead, Miranda.
I could go. So I'm Miranda O'Connor. My company is The Art of Storytelling. We do corporate video and photography. And I'm sorry I was late. I was actually on an amazing call with Trevor. We were reviewing my brand. So it was very insightful. He's quite amazing at what he can see when he looks at your brand. And I'm looking forward to doing more with him. And I think, Richard, you wanted us to celebrate a win. I do have a win. So I just wrapped up an 8-month project with a client from Italy who was originally a video and photography client. And then she asked me if I would do some PR and help her in Toronto put together some influencer campaigns, get some press events going, help her with the CL trade show, do some cooking classes for their food brands. It's a food client. So I have just been working on that, and it all wrapped up 2 weeks ago at CL. We had some amazing dinners, cooking classes, and I thought the contract was completely done. And then she contacted me yesterday and said, let's do some more PR events and cooking classes. So yeah, a nice win to continue a project that you think is completed.
Those are the best because you get to work with a really good client that you know that you've been paid by as well, and that it just keeps going and growing. Those are the best. And it's a good as a tribute to you as and good work as well. And I like how you blame Trevor for being late for this meeting, so that works out really well as well. So that's another win.
Small world, I tell you. This
Yeah.
was amazing. Good to see you again, Brandon.
Nice. How about anybody else? Big win. I know Vanessa's got a big win. Her little leaguer baseball story. I don't know if you want to share that. The slugger story of your the little one playing baseball.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one. I guess like a personal win. Yeah, my son who's 5.5 just started playing t-ball, and I played like a lot growing up. I played on teams, and then like I played in like corporate leagues. And then I played in the UK. It's weird. There's like a really weird softball subculture there. So like I was pretty into it then. And anyways, it was just very exciting playing with him because he's really into it. And so now we've been playing together, and I get why like parents get so jazzed about their kids doing the sports that they did. It's pretty cool. But I have a good like business one too. I got a great referral from a previous or a current client to do some HubSpot work for one of her contacts. And then I did that work, and then that person actually left and got a job somewhere else. And now they brought me on there. So it's kind of nice that I've been able to like take that referral through to different companies, and I'm still working with the other company too. So yeah, that was a pretty nice win for me this week.
That's awesome. How did you? Were there any strategies to get reconnected with that person? They reached out to you when they moved.
They just they literally moved like last week, and then in their new place, they were like, we need to do HubSpot. So they called me. So it was nice. And it's funny because I feel like we have all these strategies for outreach and doing cold stuff. And like, obviously you can't plan it when it's referral, but it's just like so much easier. Like the sell is just so much. It's just, I didn't even really feel like I had to pitch myself. I was just like, here's my work, here's my quote. And like, that was it. So I know you can't do biz dev that way, but when you can, it's so much easier. And like the same thing with getting repeat business from your existing clients. Like that's the dream, really.
But you can plan it. Like have automatically follow people every quarter, see how they're doing. Like
for sure.
Like like this last month, I would say 80% of sales came from referral for me. Normally it's just very cold. And the only thing I did differently was, Richard, my fractional dinners, like I just reconnected with a bunch of CMOs and say, hey, like, oh, like, did you have a product you want to build or a problem? And then they start thinking of ideas. And the moment you start working with them, then they give you referrals. Because then they're like, it's hard. You just need to stay top of mind for people. Like that's that's the only thing that matters. Nothing else.
That's a huge aspect. Just remember, I used to write the worst email, and all it was about was my recent projects that I was doing. I'd send it out, and inevitably, every time I sent that out, oh, I've been meaning to contact you, Rich. I got a new project, right? It's like it's top of mind. You don't know where people are in their decision-making process, but the other thing I was going to say with Vanessa, remember Marilyn Hintz said she did that. She did a course or whatever, and she was sharing the course with us about referrals, and she asked how many people get business through referrals. Every single person put their hand up. It is a fundamental way to get business, and even Dorothy wrote the book on the follow-up, automating follow-up, but it is I can't remember what the count is now. Like, what is it? 9 calls you have to make for a sales rep to get through. It might even be higher now with this data. So yeah, referrals and doing good quality business. I was talking to a client, Rob. I was connected to the new girl that you're hired with. We were chatting back and forth on it, and the power of customer service, like how important it is to keep customers happy because they will refer themselves. They'll buy again. They'll buy a second purchase. They'll refer others. So I think you can survive in referral marketing if you do good work. Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, I was just you were asking for wins. So my win is I hadn't even considered business to consumer before because I understand business to business so much better. However, I was you remember what's her name there, Bell Beer. So I met somebody through one of her groups, and she basically does like executive assistant or something similar, and then she also helps ladies that have either are going through divorce or have been divorced in the past. And she came across a client that her ex has been stalking her relentlessly, breaking into her house and everything else. And so she talked to me about what I can do about network security for them. And so
Oh, that's,
every other IT person that they had talked to had dismissed her concerns as trivial, and that she was imagining everything. And
some
so
people
I
don't. Some
took the
people don't
path
read the
of
news, or
empathy.
some people don't pay attention to the news. There's so many stories like that right now. Congrats! I love how Belbeer kind of positioned herself, because she tells a story of a recent divorce. Like, that's how she got into the line of work. So she does it's like a multi-level marketing, but it's a legal service. It's a subscription legal service. And she puts her own personal slant on that, where she talks about when she got divorced and what that was like to go through, how this service helped her. And I love how she's connected that in the sales, and then how that's fun and
But
led to you as well.
that this was somebody in her networking group. It wasn't Belbeer herself.
No, I meant
Oh.
how Belbeer positions herself, and then that led to you. I think that's a great, like, whenever you can personalize, the rationale and the why, it just makes the message so much stronger. And for her, when, like, I got, like, look at me now, I'm recounting that story now, and she told it to me once, and now I love the angle. I love that you're getting in there, Daniel, and that could open up. You know what? When you do the security at their place, the people that do, like, I've got a guy, my neighbor is getting the patio done. I know Sandler used to do, the place I used to work with did a lot of, like, home care. I don't know what you call that line of business. You make sure you blanket the neighborhood. You show up with a sign. If you get a sign on your car, you will get a ton of work from just that somebody else from that neighborhood hired you. You should make sure you blanket the neighborhood. And if you can get, they used to do, I was looking into this franchise on deck building. And one of the things they did to sell themselves is they would pay the person to host a party on the new deck they had. And naturally the conversation would come up. It was a brilliant way for them to make new business. So when you go and do that, if you get that business, obviously being, careful with, privacy and all that other stuff. But I think that's a good opportunity for you to break in
so
there.
this is network security. It's not physical surveillance.
Oh, gotcha.
So basically, I'm monitoring all the traffic from her cell phones, her computers, and everything else, because she's afraid that her ex-husband's hacked into Facebook and Instagram and everything else. And then he also breaks into her house too.
Yeah. So it's still a good story in that, but I get how you can't show up with a sign.
And so I can't really advertise it, because that would be like painting a target on my back.
Yeah. Well, you could still, I don't know, guys, Marcus, can he still write about that anonymously and how he helped?
No, it's not that. I don't want these ex-husbands painting a target on my back.
Well, yeah.
Because some of them can be quite vindictive.
Yes, 100%. Well, if they're already acting that way in the first place.
Yeah.
Simran, go ahead. Share a win.
Yeah, I mean, just a small one, actually, because I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the Human Library Initiative, but they've sort of set up a novel way to connect people and their stories to other individuals that haven't, like, had the opportunity to learn about a specific subject matter area. And there's a school in Brampton that's been doing this for their students. And so I was reached out to volunteer and be a human book is what they call it. And so they asked me, I have endometriosis. So they asked me to come in and talk about, like, life living with a chronic illness and then also becoming an entrepreneur. And it was quite the amazing day last week. So I got to sit with 7 sets of students. Most of them were seniors, so right on the cusp of, like, deciding what they're going to major in or go to university or not. A couple of juniors, and all of them were just sort of, like, trying to absorb as much information as possible. But you could also see a little bit of, like, the fear in their eyes. They're in, like, their last couple of months of high school. Like, their whole world is going to change. And they had such a great appetite for advice, and they asked me some of the toughest questions I've honestly been asked by anyone recently, like, big, broad, like, how do you navigate life, and what are the biggest problems you faced as an executive, and how do you know you're making the right decisions? And you kind of have to have, like, you want to be honest and transparent, but have enough of a filter, not to scare them completely. But I feel I really got the sense that they and the teachers also communicated this, that they so infrequently have the opportunity to have these types of conversations, and a big part of their sort of inspiration of doing it was to, like, get them off of their phones, like, get them off of a screen and off of a device and just talking to people. And it was just like the librarian and the head of the English department that's put it together. They've been doing it for a few years now. And I just thought I'd share that because there were, I don't know, maybe a dozen or so books that were present, each person with like a very different background, very different lived experience. And it was such a cool initiative. And even I walked away with a sort of newfound understanding of the level of pressure I think the kids of that age specifically feel. You know, many of them are, you know, first generation Canadian and also have a sense of like, we need to retain and sustain the success of what our parents have built, oftentimes from literal nothing. And, you know, again, the sort of lack of human connection that they're experiencing. It's a bit of a personal / professional win, but I just thought I'd share it because I think it's such a neat initiative and what a great way for, and it was all volunteer, you know, they gave us a nice little lunch, but it was a great way to give back, but also a great way to remind, I don't know, myself, I don't have any kids, but there's a lot of influence, you know, that we have, whether or not we're aware of it. And we can, it's at any point, if I feel like my story isn't relevant to share, I think I'll go back to that day and check myself and be like, no, it is. Someone somewhere is going to find value in it. And I think it's probably true for all of us. So I just wanted to share it because it's been really, really bright moment of the last month. And I'm so glad I got to do it.
I love that story. There's a
Yeah.
gentleman that wrote a book recently called The Anxious Generation. I've heard him on a few podcasts. It's just exactly what you're sharing. And I've got a high schooler in grade 12 right now. And I tell you, even my older son who's in third year university, to have somebody else tell them what they're doing, they have no idea all the different careers you can have out there. And they're smart. I mean, they're going to like, they obviously asked you a ton of questions. So
yeah,
that's excellent. Did you get the recording of that? Did you get to watch it after the fact? Like it's one thing to be in it and another thing to kind of watch.
No recording. I don't know. Yeah. And I was also reticent. I mean, they're still kids. So you didn't want to, you know, document or, you know, sort of infringe, and you wanted to also just create as much of a safe space for them as possible. They were so scared and shy to like ask questions. Many of them called me ma'am. That was an interesting spirit or miss. And I was like, oh, right, got it. And at some point I was like, I feel also, you know, young and have no idea what I'm doing in my life. And they think you know, they get a bit of solace from, yeah, I've made a lot of mistakes and life and career has changed dozens of times and it will for you and it's okay. And like, I feel like they were looking for a lot of permission, right? To fumble and to get it wrong and figure it out. And, you know, the pressure that you feel to make like the absolute right decision today, it doesn't need to be that way. You can just be human and learn and explore and be curious. But no, there was no recording of it. And I'm glad I got to do it. Hopefully I'll get the chance to do it again.
That's a great story. Go ahead, Robert. That would be, oh boy, I'm gonna Robert X. I'm gonna chew up your name there, Robert.
No worries, all good. I have actually a very similar story to Simran. I volunteered with the school boards of Ontario and as a career coach. So I've been going to career days at various high schools across. I gave them a perimeter of about 40 kilometers from Hamilton. I didn't want to drive too far, but I've been talking to grade 9 and 10 students about careers, and specifically a career as a graphic designer or a career in the arts. And that was really, it's been rewarding. Just yesterday, I was in Dunnville and had some nice conversations. I mean, some of those students just stare at you blankly in grade 9. That they've got no clue, they've got no idea why they're there, and no questions. And it was literally like pulling teeth trying to get them to interact with you. But some kids were really interested, and they're interested in art. And 1 or 2 of the students are actually considering career as a graphic designer. So I got to answer some questions. And although 95% of them don't really care, there was a few of them that were really interested, and it's those ones that I kind of I gravitated towards, and I made sure I was able to answer the questions and give them some hopefully solid advice. So yeah, it's really rewarding to be talking to kids that age and just remind you how old you are now. I think in a few weeks I'm actually going to my old high school, which is going to be interesting. So see how that goes. But yeah, so definitely called that a win for sure.
They've been a few movies made of the return to the high school scene. You better brush up on
Yeah,
those.
I'm not looking for any drama. I'm pretty sure any of my teachers aren't there anymore either. They've long retired. That was late 80s, early 90s. So there you go.
Yep. Good old days, right?
Hey, Robert, are you
Yeah.
familiar with the Code Club initiative in Hamilton as well?
What's that called?
Code Club?
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, it's something we did through the Chamber of Commerce with the Innovation and Technology Committee as part of the Code Red initiative.
Okay.
And we were going into grade 6 and 7 classes, teaching them how to program computers during the lunch
that's
hours.
interesting. Yeah, that is neat. I'm not a programmer by any means, but if there are similar things that are design related or using software tools related to design, totally be into that for sure.
Yeah,
I remember you telling me about that, Daniel. They during the beer at in Hamilton about that.
yeah, and
what you'd be
it's the Industry and Education Council that's taken up the torch since then.
IEC, yeah.
Excellent. How about anybody else? Anybody else? Daniel, I haven't. Daniel Wintrip. I'm gonna pick. I haven't heard from you. I haven't seen you for a bit, so I'm gonna pick on you. How about you? You must have had some wins, some stuff you could share.
Hi. Yes. It's been a really great few months. Lots of opportunities coming. I've been responding to new business ideas and new pathways for growth. My course is just getting rave reviews still, and I'm thrilled about it. And I'm going to be launching a membership. And yeah, things are going really, really well.
Is that the first
wins.
course, Daniel? Is that the first time you've done it, or this is just a
Danielle?
Sorry, Daniel.
It's okay. No, I've been doing the course for about 4 or 5 months now. I've been teaching it, and so I continue to do so. And I'm going to open up a kind of a membership or a container for alumni of the course, and so they can continue with their AI mastery for marketing.
Sorry, is that the first time you put a course together and sold it? Is what I meant. Yes. The first. Excellent. So a couple of some sideline stuff. When I was looking for a community app, most of them have a course related, like Heartbeat, the one that we're using, has a course related to it. I haven't found any use for it. And then all the other stuff around it, like in fact, they target. So I could probably point you in the direction of about 10 or so that are good ones to look at, and you just find one that fits your personality and what you're.
Yeah, I've already decided on Circle.
Yeah, that was like in my bottom 3 choices. That's a good choice.
Yeah,
they have a good,
I've done a lot of analysis and
it.
work on that, so I've determined that's the one I want to go with. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing how that goes, and the alumni and the membership. That's pretty exciting. So you can keep it going. You can spurn a new course, and you got a natural audience right in there with you.
There's lots of possibility, but I'm delighted to have found an offering for this particular audience that's affordable and truly making an impact and making a difference for them. So I'm delighted. The audience, by the way, is professional services individuals. My fractional work is professional services firms. So and is it appropriate to ask a question of the group here?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Go ahead. Yeah.
What do people think about affiliate marketing in general? What do you know about it? What's your opinion about it?
I'm a huge fan. Not just because I do it through this, but I've especially if you're a thought leader, right? I think it. So I can you maybe get a little bit more of a background, Danielle. Sorry, is it you like recommending and selling stuff that you're recommending, or is it people selling your courses? Which way are you approaching the affiliate aspect of it?
Well, I don't know yet, but it would be people selling my course. Yes.
Yeah.
That's probably what it would be. Actually, I don't know if I would do a return thing. I would pay somebody to be affiliate marketing. So I just want opinions on people. Is it successful? Is it ethical? Is it purpose driven? What are people's thoughts about it? How do they
So I'll jump in. I do it with this
respond?
course.
Mhm.
And the rationale behind it is, this group wouldn't exist without the people within it. And if you're bringing good people into the group, so from a, is it from a motivating standpoint? Am I doing good or bad? I feel like I'm returning, thanks for inviting a good quality candidate to it. So you put it in that framework, I feel like it's good. And the only person that would refer your course on is somebody that got great value from it and wants to share that value with somebody moving forward. So I think it's a good testament in terms of like really enjoying her course, want to tell you about it, and the fact that they might get some money from spreading the good news is not a horrible thing either. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anybody else try affiliate marketing? So the other side of the coin too, and what I was thinking, Daniela, being a thought leader too, you can like if you sell, you probably see that you can have advertisements run through you, you can have books that you sell, and you get a clip off of that as well. So if you've gone through the process of recommending, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, who said sorry? You want to jump in?
Marta and Eden both have things to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it was Eden, so I'll let her go first.
Okay, sorry. I wasn't saying sorry here. I didn't mean to interrupt. I had put my hand up because there were people who my umbrella got in the way because it's now raining in Toronto. Very exciting. So all that I was going to say is my piece about it is as long as the people who are selling your product or service as an affiliate and getting a commission in some way, shape, or getting compensated in some way, shape, or form are transparent about it, I'm comfortable. It's when people are trying to sell things for you in exchange for compensation and aren't transparent with those whom they're selling it to.
Yes, transparency, of course. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Marta, did you have you had your hand up and then put it down? Do you have a point there?
Yeah, thank you. It's aligned with what Eden was saying. Like I do a couple of affiliate programs because I strongly believe in that product or that service that that person is offering. And I'll give you an example. If it's something that I know I can't offer because it's just not in my wheelhouse, but it only adds value for me to be able to present that to my client, then it's all the better, right? So I already trust this partner, and the fact that they are happy to let me use their service and it's through an affiliate program, then it's kind of like a win-win everywhere. Like the circle just kind of keeps giving back to each other. It's not the main reason why I do it, but it's just a nice little pat on the back after you've done it, right? So I don't do it with everybody, but there's a couple of programs that I am using right now, and I feel like it's good. It's there. It's not a stressing thing either. It just seems to happen naturally. If the opportunity presents itself, then I will be like, oh yes, this is a great opportunity to talk about this particular product or service. And if it doesn't, then I don't stress. It's not like it's I need to make a quota or something, if that makes sense, right? So yeah, I would say I'm a fan of it as long as it's not driven by some sort of you have to do it.
Right. Okay.
You can argue. So Rob and Vanessa are both HubSpot resellers, if I could say, like one of your packages, right? HubSpot pays them a commission for every time they sell it. I would say it's well earned, but also you guys get a benefit because when they're on the software, you can sell them other services too, right? So I think it's from if you're getting somebody else to sign up to that software, and you're not going to get them to sign up to the software because it's a lousy software and they got to get commission paid. I mean, usually the commission doesn't really cover enough to make a living off of it. So it's usually just saying a thank you. So, and I still believe it. Like I've got a lot of neighbors, like my neighbor across the street from me. If he hires somebody, I'm definitely hiring them because I know he goes out of his way to investigate the heck out of them. So it's a good way of, saying if he could get thanked by the people that have gotten the business from me, I'd feel really good about it because, he's done me a lot of work by doing all the investigative work and proving that they're a good candidate to purchase from.
Oh, good. Well, thank you, everybody. That was great. Oh, Simran, did you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Simran.
sorry. Yeah, just to add a thought there, because I'm hearing your focus is on professional services firms. I think in affiliate marketing, reputation management matters a lot, but I'm going to hazard a guess that it's going to matter even more because of the nature of your business. So I think it's just something to keep in mind as you grow that affiliate network. Is there a values alignment? Is there a profile alignment? Is who is representing your business exactly who you'd want it to be? So some sort of consideration on how to appropriately vet and filter to ensure that your reputation isn't, coming into any sense of sort of pressure or scrutiny because of who you're associating with, I think would matter more, even just because you're in a professional services space. So just a thought there. Yeah.
No, good. It's a good thought. And I have definitely considered that. So it's more individuals I'm looking at now, and they, independent professionals, like say lawyers, consultants, coaches, but trying to find that alignment with their values. And and in some of the professions just simply won't allow it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And Danielle, if you put that, we have that new section called Give and Ask. There might be a few people that didn't make the call that we could offer a comment on that as well. Just put a quick little note in there. You don't have to do it now, but when you do.
Okay.
And just remind everybody else on that new thread that we have called Give and Ask, which you can offer something for free to, that can help somebody. You're passing a good vibes forward. You can ask for help and somebody can reciprocate. It's all as Eden pointed out in last month, it's and Eden, Eden, can you say it one more time, because I've lost the thread again.
Radical generosity.
Radical generosity. Thank you. Sorry, in the spirit of radical generosity. So, anybody else got any good wins? And Eden, how is that? Has anybody reached out to you about radical generosity? Have you got any good feedback about that?
Well, I had my hand up for Daniela, but
go ahead. Answer that first.
That's a whole other thing. Okay. So one weird experience, just to let you know, in the professional service realm, and it may or may not tie into what Marcia was saying, and it speaks to reputation, and it speaks to B2B and professional services, and that is that I don't even know how to share it. I'm just trying to think of how to best frame this. I was in a situation several years ago where there was a woman who had a client, and one of the things she was doing in terms of consulting with her, I would say she was a marketer, but her consulting role was more around operations. She helped her to find a marketing agency. She helped her client find a marketing agency, and we were selected to be the agency. And then and she was still continuing her work for this client. And after we won the competition, the contract, she contacted me and asked me if I would either give her a kickback or if I would hire her to do some of the work because she referred them to me. And that's not affiliate marketing, but it speaks to a bit of what I heard in some of the sentiment, a little bit of the sentiment today. I didn't think that was very cool. I look at that as double dipping. And I didn't think this woman would be a good fit, nor was I looking to bring somebody in so that we could do work for this client. But it just presents it from a different perspective as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just, as an FYI, which I'm sure, from your perspective, you're very acutely aware of, but I just thought it would add a bit to the conversation.
Yeah. Oh, that's unpleasant.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I've had it approached me the same sort of scenario in a different light. Like, I know somebody, I want to introduce you to them. I think you'll get business out of it. Would you, if I introduce and get you that step, would you offer if you ask it up front, be transparent about it, I think it's a different scenario, right? So I know Rob, we used to have a guy that has a company called Putty, and it's PUDDY, three Ds, Y, and his whole framework was he'll get you pay a subscription or whatever, he'll get you an opportunity to be one of three people, like in this case, it was an agency being presented to a client, and what he presents. So it's like a double-sided market, what he presents on the client side is that I'm going to help you sort out and find the right marketing agency for you, right? On the agency side. So if I'm going to get you this mix. So that it was $50 to get a meeting. So if you're the top 3 that was chosen, pay $50, you get into the meetings. There's only 3 of you being pulled forward. If you win the business and you sign, this is all up front, you would pay him, I think it was a 10%, it was a pretty high, it was either 10 or 20% commission fee of all the work you did in the first year. So you you have the opportunity to decide up front. Like that's their model, business model. That's how they advertise everywhere. So you decide whether that was worth, the sales effort that would have got you in the same situation had it arisen a different way. So I think going back to whoever said the transparency side of things is a huge aspect of it. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I posted something in the chat there because I've got a client that's looking for HubSpot expertise.
I'll post it in the give and ask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, perfect. There's a few, depending on the level of service, Rob or Nessa will be able to help you out.
Okay.
And thanks for sharing that, Daniel. Appreciate it. I'm gonna have a hard time bouncing back from Daniel to Danielle. Like I'm gonna mess that up a few hundred times, I think. It's a good thing the call's almost over.
Just be glad there isn't a Daniela too.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I have a yeah.
And don't call me Daniela.
No. Wow. I'm going to call you D from now on.
Sure. That's good.
Any last little one? Anyone wants to squeeze one last one in the last 4 minutes? I'll bug Trevor. What do you think of that? And Daniel, what do you think of the info factor? Marta and I came late. We shared that with you, but I still ran into some decent clients. What do you think of it? What was your overall impression?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good for the people that I knew that were there. I felt it was a little hard to approach some of the people. There wasn't great body language and inviting spirit, I guess, to a lot of the conversations. It felt very kind of closed off. But I think the ideas were good, and certainly I think the Innovation Factory has some excellent resources and people involved with it. But yeah, I think the event could have been a little more open, I guess, and inviting, I think. But it was great to see you guys there, of course.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
I said, you warmed me up to the whole night, actually. Without you, I was feeling pretty cold. So, yeah.
It's not as good as some of the other events I've been to at Innovation Factory. Mm-hmm. I don't think I picked up any business there, but I did pick up possibly a new student for Hamilton Chinese School.
Okay. Sorry, before I end, Ryan, do you want to tell people you got an event coming up in Burlington, right? Coming up, do you want to just take the last little minute to pitch what you do at the event? It's a great event.
So I hold fractional dinner events every quarter, one in Burlington and one in Toronto. So I'm doing one on the 27th in Burlington, where I bring together like 40 to 50 fractional executives. And the idea is that you meet, like most events you go to, there's like people who are 2 junior or 2 or senior. So kind of everyone's rep the same job title so that it's easy for you to meet other people, form partnerships, and build referral. So I kind of solved all the problems you have in an event. Like you get the guest list before you go. So I try to keep doing this because it helps a lot of people, and a lot of people get a lot of value out of it. So I keep doing this every quarter right now.
He does a good mix. I don't know if you already said that. You have startups come and fractional. So you got the senior with somebody just starting a business. So it was a really good mix. So I've been to the one in Burlington. Linda went to the one in Toronto. Marta, you came with me to the Burlington one, right? So it was worth it. And I keep saying, finally you raised the rates, Ryan, because Ryan he wasn't making any money for all.
I'm still not making any money on this one. Yeah. It's still like you do the math. It's still it just comes out to be that. So, but this time it's the poorhouse. Hopefully Marta, like it should be better. It's an 80-person room this time. So
okay.
If it's good, then I'll keep doing it there. But yeah,
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Ryan's got a real good method of moving people around, so you don't just meet one person. You're going to meet it's hard in a big group to meet everybody, but you're going to meet a few different people. So it was good, worth it. And that's in our events thing. If you guys want to look up how to sign up for that, I have to remember. And Ryan, don't listen to this part. Hey, if anybody else is going there, if you get 3 of us together, we got a deal. So just let me know on the download. You let me know. Ryan doesn't know. He doesn't have to know everything. Okay. So, all right, Linda, you going? All right, good. All right, Martha, Linda, and I. There you go. We got threesome. All right, we're good. Save some money that way. Good. Anyhow, guys, it was great seeing you. If we're next Tuesday is the operations group. Everybody in this group is welcome to come along. But the focus of the conversation will be about operational type stuff. But you know, as Daniel's here listening in on the marketing side, he's typically on the operations. You'll get good value from both groups. And the last Tuesday of the month is our networking one. That's where Eden introduced us to the radical general. Finally remembered what it was. The give and ask created a new thread in our group. So if anybody has another networking concept that you want to share with me in advance of that, I'm always looking for ideas to how to make that one call a little, so we can get to know each other a little bit better without a topic behind it. And Trevor and Simran, thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other questions, you can join me Thursdays, and I can take you on a tour. Well, you've already been on a tour, Simran. Trevor, I don't think you've seen it. You're welcome to join me on Thursday afternoons. I can show you the app and the other side of it.
Love to see that. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the invitation. I'm thankful for that. And thankful for all of you. Thank you. Have a great day.
See you guys. Have a great month. Bye now.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Richard.
Yeah, how are you, Linda?
I'm going, hey, Richard, hey, Richard.
Let me stop the recording here.
Stop the recording so we don't get in trouble with Ryan.
Stop recording. Cut there. Stop.